Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. Today we're starting the fifth parak of Eiruvin. Wow, Mishnayos go so quick, you know. How many parak were in Eiruvin? I think 10 or 11. 10 parak. 10 parak in Eiruvin. We're halfway through. We're starting the halfway point over here. Actually, parak Vo would be the halfway point, but we're almost halfway there. Parak Hey, Mishnayos Aleph and Beis. Mishnah Aleph says in Parak Hey, Kesam Abranas Arim. We're talking about Eiruvin Tum in the last parak. We'll continue this discussion over here. Right? Where do you start measuring the 2,000 amos? Right? Let's say you have bias nichnas, bias yotze at the wall, right? The walls of the city. You have some houses that are jutting out and some houses that are in pogum nichnas, pogum yotze, or you have towers, right? Some have watchtowers on the borders of the city. Some are in, some are out. You have walls, dismantled walls that are ineffective anymore, but they're 10 tefachim high. Ugisharim. You have bridges on the edge of the town, unafashos, or you have burial plots. Sheyesh behen beis dira. Now, it's important that the last three things, there has to be someone who's a watchman over there, because there's no people over there. Right? The first case is you have watchtowers, people are in the watchtowers. You have houses, people live in the houses. It's obviously not considered part of the city if no one's living there. So if you have bridges, or you have a dismantled wall, or you have graves, a cemetery over there, has to be someone who lives there, or at least watches over the area. Motzira Samida Kinegdan, right? You measure by the outermost point, the outermost house, the outermost watchtower, the outermost bridge. Va'osin osa kamin tavla merubas kadeshe niskaras vayos, right? So even in one corner of the city, right, you have houses protruding out, and if you would go vertically up, you're in the southeast corner. You want to go to the northeast corner, right? So even though there's nothing in there, but you measure it, the furthermost corner, right, where you have a place where people live, or at least people stay part of the day, that becomes the edge of your box, and you make a box around it, right? Not just a circle. We learned in this machlokes to make it a circle or a box. We make it by the tum, right, which 2,000 amos out, but by starting to measure the tum, you also measure it as a box. This is the halacha accepted, and therefore, right, and then you start measuring 2,000 amos, which again is a box, right, not a circle. 2,000 amos. Now, Beis, besides the fact that you start measuring by the outermost house, you also, in certain instances, add on another 70 and 2/3 amos before you start counting the 2,000 amos. It's called a karfeif. It's called the encampment around the city. Divrei Rabbi Meir. A mayor says every city gets that 70 and 2/3 amos. The Chama Amrim, karfev elabein shtei yaros im yesh lo zu shivim amo b'shirayim lo zu shivim amo b'shirayim osa karfev l'shtei yos ka'achas. Come say we don't always give an extra 70 amos and 70 and 2/3 amos before measuring the 2,000 amos for the city to make the tum of the city. Only in a case where two cities are next to each other, that if you would add an extra 70 and 2/3 amos to each city and then start measuring the 2,000 amos, then those 2,000 amos of each city would intermingle, right? They would overlap, and therefore it would become like one big city, and there would be no Isser Tumen to walk from one city to another city, even if you didn't make an Eiruvin Tumen. So in that case, we add 70 to amos. But a regular city where the surrounding area is the wilderness or a desert or something like that, so you don't make the karfeif at the edge, the outermost house or the outermost dira. So then you measure 2,000 amos without adding a 7 to amos. I believe we possibly the chum over here. I will explain the shita of the Chamim and the Machlokes and the Chamim and Rameir in Iyam Mitzion coming up next.